Well, is your system full of unwanted gunk and in need of a detox, or does a detox do anything at all? We're exploring the science of these supposed personal health pursuits this morning. Tim Caulfield is the research director of health law at the Health Law Institute at the University of Alberta, joins us this morning. Tim, good morning. Glad to have you with us.
Good morning, Kent. This is a great topic. I love it.
Yeah. Let's get right into it. All kinds of different cleanses and detox. So let's start with the detox diet. Is there any science to back that up?
Well, the reason I love this topic, Kent, is I don't have to pull any punches. No, there's no evidence to back it up at all. There are so many cleanses. There's so many detoxes out there, and extreme diets. Like, these extreme diets are one of the best examples. And by the way, Kent, I've tried a lot of these things for my research. I went on Gwyneth Paltrow's extreme cleanse detox diet. It was 21 days of like nothing. Nothing. Did I lose weight? Yeah, I did. Did I put it all back on immediately? Yeah, I did. So there's big promises for these kind of detoxes. No evidence to support them, and there have been systematic reviews that have looked at the available evidence for these kinds of diets. Really nothing to support them, and they can do harm, right? They're very restrictive diets often. They can be very nutritionally vacant, I'll put it that way, and they can invite disordered eating too, right? And let's be honest, they promise this detox, right? That you're going to remove the toxins from your body. Who wants toxins in your body? They never explain how that's going to work, what toxins, what's the biological mechanism at play. And let's be honest, a lot of it is about dieting, and they're just not sustainable. So lots of potential harm, no evidence of benefit.
Okay, so that's with the diets themselves. There's also this offer of supplements that can help with the cleanse as well. What's your take there?
Yeah. Guess what the answer is? Again, no evidence to support it at all. Look, the whole supplement industry is, often a very big red flag for bunk. If someone's selling a supplement, that should make you almost immediately suspicious. Now, I want to be really careful here. If you have a clinically identified need for a clinical supplement, that's of course very different. If you go to your primary care physician or a dietitian and they give you some advice, that's different from this massive supplement industry that's making all these false claims. And again, there hasn't been any evidence to support the idea that if you get an IV vitamin drip, for example, it's going to detox anything at all. Again, these are false promises, and they're often marketed, Kent, by saying it's going to improve your energy, or do you feel like you have fatigue? Yeah, I do often. And so they play to these kind of vague issues, and they offer vague promises that aren't supported by the evidence.
Now, I want to get to this one, and I think I know what your answer is going to be, but there's a lot of talk, especially online, of a colon cleanse. Does that help anyone?
No. And this is sort of an extreme version of the cleanse trend, right? And by the way, some people do it themselves. So it's a do-it-yourself ones, or they take lots of laxatives, for example. Just a terrible idea. And again, we've interviewed people who have done this, and we've actually filmed someone getting a colon cleanse. And I think it has this sort of immediate impact on how you feel. So there's a big placebo effect. There's placebo theater going on with this. And again, it has this intuitive appeal. They're removing plaque from your intestine or something. The reality is none of these things work. And by the way, colon cleanses can be really dangerous. You can perforate your bowel. There's also been situations where the clinics offering these services are been associated with infectious disease, i.e. they weren't cleaning the instruments properly. So there is real potential for harm. The bottom line, Kent, is if you see the word detox or cleanse, again, another big red flag for bunk. Be very, very skeptical.
Tim, we always appreciate your efforts to cleanse us from the misinformation. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks so much, Kent.
If you'd like to follow along with Tim, you can find him online, Instagram and X at Caulfield Tim.